Alright, what is up, guys? Today we are going to American Motorsports to fill Orion's nitrous bottles, and we're also going to Enjuku. Orion needs a new coilover, and I need to pick up my parts so I can put my car back together and we can head to Arizona. It should be a sick day. I'm really looking forward to going and checking out American Motorsports, and also going to see our homies at Enjuku. This is probably one of the coolest speed shops I've ever been in. It's called American Motorsports.
Exhaust fragrance. Got the cherry bomb, the bean.
Lots of Holly MSD stuff, which is very, very cool. It's cool like working with these companies and then coming into a speed shop and seeing just all the products on the shelf, you know, not just on the website. Lots of MSD shit right here. Orion's getting his nitrous bottles filled. Holly. Shout out to Holly for the NOS bottles.
Too well.
Lots of cool shit. Lots of safety equipment here.
You are officially in the system.
Alright, so we just left we just left American Motorsports, probably one of the coolest speed shops I've ever been to, especially in the fucking Orlando area. Aside from Enjuku, it's just totally different. Walking in there, seeing all the products from Holly, MSD, and the companies that support my car on the shelf, and people, you know, in there shopping for them. It's really cool. They're really, really helpful. Orion got his bottles filled for how much?
It was $38 a piece.
$38 a piece for a 10-pound nitrous bottle. That's really cheap.
That's so cheap.
Yeah, it's awesome. So they're really helpful, and we still have, well, myself and Orion both have a lot to learn about nitrous. I'm probably never going to use it, but he wanted to.
I studied how they were setting up like the fill tank and stuff. It looks fairly simple, but still something that's like should be taken lightly.
Yeah, and I mean, and they just kind of educated us and how to make sure that we get the most, or he gets the most out of his bottles. Really cool. We're headed to Enjuku now.
Do your thing.
It's safe to say that the Black Friday Enjuku sale went well, right? I know you guys are probably stressed out, but look at these stack of orders, Kevin. You're probably busy too. Everybody's busy. Alright, so quick stop at Enjuku to get a new adapter kit. This is their V2 version. Clutch. Oh shit. New clutch. It's a comp clutch stage 5 kit for the CDO9 pilot bushing. And then this is my flywheel. We just wanted to make sure it's still in good shape. Orion is grabbing some stuff. I don't want to spoil it, but these dudes are so busy, and it's all thanks to you guys for buying so much shit during Black Friday. So shout out to all of you, and also shout out to the dude in the Mini Cooper that drove by me outside and hollered Quan Gang at me. If you watch this, I fuck with you. We made it back to the house, and I'm gonna run you through what I've got going on the rest of this week, going into the weekend. We made a few errands this morning, went to American Motorsports, went to Enjuku. A few things I picked up was 6 quarts of this 50 weight oil. It's actually green, and it's higher in zinc, and shouldn't break down as easy. Wix oil filter, which is the only oil filter I run. New comp clutch. New ISR adapter kit. My transmission, we went over it a bunch. It's all good. I did get a new bearing for the input shaft from Nissan, but we're not going to put it in because we don't think it's needed. New pilot bushing, which is right here. Throwout bearing. Here's the new pilot bushing. So, she needs an oil change, and the gearbox needs to go back up. Alright, so I've got the gearbox all put back together on the inside. I've got the throwout bearing on, and the fork on, and the clip on, and the C-clips on that go behind the cover, which are probably the biggest bitch of them all. But it's on there. So the next thing to do is try and get this car up in the air as high as I can. I don't have a lift. I don't want to take the car anywhere. I don't want to go through the hassle putting the burden on somebody else and taking up, you know, their time. So I'm just gonna put it up on jack stands, get it up as high as I can, enough to get the gearbox under there and myself under there to try and lift it up. I was gonna do the old bread trick for the pilot bushing, but one of my good friends, Jeff, told me that there's like a cap on the back side of the block where the crank is on an LS, and when you do the bread trick, sometimes you can hammer through that, and then that plug will then fall into your engine. You have to disassemble your whole engine and get it out by the crankshaft, so I'm not doing that. So tomorrow I'll go to AutoZone and get a pilot bushing puller, and it should be easy enough. I'm gonna jack this thing up now, throw it on some jack stands. I just bought some new jack stands, so it's perfect. And change the oil, do everything else that I can until I can get that puller, clean everything up on the back side of the engine, and probably call it a night. So I had full intentions of filming me put the car up on jack stands and doing like a cool time lapse, but then I forgot. I would have to say the shittiest part about doing this is the fact that my jack stands are nearly maxed out. As you can see under there, they're not maxed out because that's very unsafe, but they're high. And for being on jack stands, the car's pretty high off the ground, but to be putting a transmission in, this is going to suck. And I know a lot of people that have done it this way, and that's kudos to them, but this is going to suck. So first things first, we're going to change the oil. I actually bought a brand new drain pan. That way I can make sure, you know, whatever oil comes out, I can make sure that I know, you know, the coloration of it. Because if I drained it into something like this over here that's been used and abused, even if you clean that out, there's so much material and gross shit in there, you're not going to really be able to see the color of your oil. So, new oil, drain pan, new oil, new filter. We're going to have this thing running great. I did go up to a 50 weight, and I don't know if anybody actually cares or is wondering why, but the reason I went up to a 50 weight is because as these engines warm up, the oil pressure will start to come down at idle as the oil gets broken down, you know, like a 30 or 40 weight. So with the Holley ECU, I haven't configured this yet, but there is a way to configure the fail-safe. And when I say that, it means like when this thing sees like 15 PSI on the oil pressure, it'll shut the car off because it's going and it's trying to save the car if something was going to happen if you're losing oil pressure. Now, when I start this thing cold, it sits at about 60 PSI on the oil pressure, and then when it's hot at idle, we see about 28. But when you slip the clutch and as the RPMs drop, the oil pressure drops. So I'm thinking this will give me a more consistent reading on the cold and warm or hot idle. I probably didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but we got a fresh oil change done. I've got an idea of how I'm going to do everything tomorrow, and it's up on jack stands, ready to go. Can't thank the guys at Enjuku enough. I also got some new transmission fluid. I've never used this AMSOIL stuff before. It's a 7590, and got that at Enjuku also. So I'll be jumping on this first thing tomorrow. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Don't forget to hit the link in the description and go pick up some Quan Gang merch. If you haven't seen it, some of it looks like this. Some of it looks like this. Get yourself some gear and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.